Hey beautiful people, hope you all are doing very well today. Welcome back to the Young and Independent Show, where we discuss a variety of topics to help young folks live lives that are spiritually fulfilled, lives that are value added, lives that are less materialistic, and lives that are financially independent. I'm your host Sil, and today I want us to talk about I'd like for us to talk about taking charge of your destiny. I know that right now so many people are going through difficult times. So many people feel like they've come to the end of the road. It's over for them. I got a message this morning that really touched me and inspired me to write this article and to make this podcast, taking charge of your destiny. A young man whom I admire very much, who has obviously been through a lot, thick and thin, if you want to call it that way. Faced tragedy, lost parents, who is very smart, very talented, blessed, but who seems to find life very tough back home in Cameroon. Worst off, he's in the war-torn zone. We've been going through some coaching courses together, and I'm really inspired by him, and I'm inspired by his determination, his resilience. Not only does he want to have the message, he wants to stay motivated, and he's resilient, and I applaud him for that. You see, sometimes I wonder why Africa seems to be blessed with everything, yet it is labeled as the poorest continent on the planet. It's something I can't understand. But hey, perhaps I have the answers. Some answers to this terrible label. I think this label is not befitting of Africa, and we can change it. According to the World Bank, Africa is ranked as the last continent on the poverty frontier, with over 422 million people living below the poverty threshold, as in they've ranked, or they've put, all the continents together, and Africa is the last. More people in Africa are very poor, poorer than the acceptable limit, with a rapid population growth rate that is forecast to triple by 2050. So if we're already so broke right now, when our population triples, what's going to happen to us? I wonder and I worry. But here is the good news. Despite such horrendous statistics, I strongly believe that the fate of Africa is in the hands of Africans. If only we would come to terms with the words charity begins at home. I strongly believe, and I'm of the strongest opinion, that the revival for Africa and Africa's future is going to begin. You see, one of the things that, I hear from lots of people back home is that times are hard, there are no jobs. Oh, still, you need a godfather to get employment. Oh my God, men want to sleep with me before they offer me a job, and I just can't do that. That's why I'm home. My relatives won't help me. That my so-and-so who is abroad has never sent me any money. The government is corrupt. Things are very expensive. I don't have the degree. I don't have the skills needed. I mean, you can complete the list. Some of the things that you complain about. After the long list of complaints, people will generally, follow with the statements, I need to fall bush, as in, I have to travel abroad, I need to leave this country, I need to leave this country. But if you missed my article or my podcast on money doesn't fall from trees abroad, you will want to listen to it, and you will want to go on our website to read that article. Yeah, money doesn't fall from trees abroad. That's so true. But my question therefore is, what can we do to change all these terrible things that I've just spoken about? All these things I've just talked about, how can we do to change it? How can we override poverty? How can we take charge of our destiny? The first thing which I did, which worked for me when my father died, is that I came to terms with the fact that I was on my own. Yes, I came to terms. It was difficult. I could not come to terms with the fact that I was on my own. I just didn't want to accept it. But I swear to you that the moment I did, it liberated me. Nobody in history has ever achieved anything by complaining. So drop the blame list. Step number 1, abandon the blame list. Ask yourself a simple question. Since I started complaining, how much change or improvement have I experienced in my life? What has changed? Okay, you've been complaining all this while. What has changed? What has changed? You most likely will tell me nothing. People spend the best part of their day looking for people to complain to. But guess what? 80% of those people you complain to are actually people who don't care. And 20% of them, they are very happy that it happened to you and not to them or to anyone else that they would prefer it didn't happen to. There's this beautiful quote from Dr. Steve Maraboli. He says, for most people, blaming others is a subconscious mechanism for avoiding accountability. In reality, the only thing in your way is you. Such a beautiful quote. And I can tell you for free that it is true. I was in my way complaining, oh, my uncle hasn't paid my fee, oh, my father died, oh, my stepsister is doing this to me, oh, my stepmom has done that to me. I was in my way complaining. But when I sucked it up and said, you know what, life, here I am, let's wrestle. Guess what? I brought in my A game and things got better. Step number 2 is to work on your personal development. This point is super important, and I can go on hammering on it all day. So many people who complain about ill luck, their poor circumstances, often do nothing. You just complain, you don't do anything to change it. Nothing. But we have to learn to accept the fact that until we change who we are, we will continue to get what we've always gotten. It's important for us to realize that we cannot change the seasons. We cannot change the economy. But what we can change is ourselves. We can wish that we were better. You see, I'm always looking for ways to get better. I'm reading books, listening to audios, seeking advice, seeking mentorship. Me, I'm working harder on myself than I'm working on any job that is out there. According to Jim Rohn, you should learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. If you work harder on your job, you will make a living. You will make just enough to pay your bills, and you will work hard enough to keep from being fired. But if you work harder on yourself, you will make a fortune. Step number 3, practice the rule of OQP, only quality people. Someone once said, show me your friends and I shall tell you who you are. It's not a joke. That statement has proven to be true over and over. You know why? Because even the Bible says that bad character will corrupt good character. If you keep hanging out with people who are bad, guarantee you will pick up that cigarette and start smoking too. I heard a really amazing saying one time. Someone said, they said, if you go for a walk with somebody, 2 things happen. You either adjust to their pace or they adjust to yours. The same is true for the friends that you keep. You will end up, they either become like you in terms of character traits, or you will become like them as long as you hang with them. Practice only quality people. I'm not one of those people who have lots of friends, because I've always felt like, I've tried to make friends, don't get me wrong. But I've got a few friends that I hold very dear. They're now like sisters. But as much as I would like to make more friends, I'm very cautious. I recently became friends with a lady whom I thought was really nice, strong from the outside. But when I started hanging out with her and, letting her into my world, telling her some of the things that I was doing, the projects I was doing, I didn't like her side comments. I just felt like she was intimidated by my drive, by the things that I'm passionate about. Because every time we met, she would complain a lot about her household. She seemed very sad as a wife, but she wouldn't leave. Obviously, like I said in my article about why women should earn their own money, when you're not earning your own money, you will stay in that kind of a relationship where you're abused anyhow, because you don't have your own voice, which is your financial power. And so I ditched the relationship. I just severed all ties, because I wasn't adding any value to my life. I either left her depressed or I left her feeling demotivated in one way or the other. As in, I felt like I was doing too much. I needed to slow down. But that's not the kind of friend I needed. That's not the kind of friend you need. And if you know what's good for you, I encourage you to take a fine comb right now and just run it through the kind of people that you're keeping as friends. Just use that fine comb. Every time you're with them, listen to what they're saying. Some of them will say things like, why are you always studying as though you're the only student? They will even call you Mary Book. Some will say, why work so hard on that company as though it's yours? Now your papa company that. They will discourage you from working hard enough to earn a promotion. Some will even say to you that I can introduce you to men who are wealthy and can foot your bills. Why work so hard? Why do you even wake up every day in the morning to go to work when you can earn free money? Guess what? Misery loves company. Don't be too stingy to spend. You will die and leave all the money behind. They want you to never save, or to never save enough to start your own business, to get out of that trap in which you all are. Don't bother applying for that job. You won't get it. They don't want you to grow and leave them behind. If you guys are selling clothes in the market, she wants you to stay there with her so that you can carry on chit-chatting, gossiping and all that stuff. Why would she encourage you to go and apply for an office job and get the job? I know a native doctor that can make you pass your exams and or help you travel abroad. He or she is setting a trap, a spiritual trap for you to fall into. As Robin Jones Gunn said, bad friends could ruin your whole life. Be wise when it comes to choosing your friends. You set the standard. You'll be the one who stands strong. Don't be a follower. Fantastic advice. Step number 4. Make lemons with your lemonades. Make lemonade, with your lemons. Many people complain about hardship, but they are incapable of making the best of what they have now. The key word is now. What do you have in your disposal now? If you can't manage that one talent that God has given you, it shall be taken away from you and given to those who already have more. Matthew 24 verse 14 to 30, the parable of the talents. Go and read it. People spend their time watching comedy shows on Facebook. All WhatsApp groups nowadays are talking about, Russia has invaded Ukraine. Talking about news, gossiping about, this new album has just been released. Yet we wonder why we remain broke after all is said and done. Perhaps the following questions can serve as a guide towards your lemonade preparation. Ask yourself these questions. What skills do I have now? Now, that's the key word. What skills do you have right now that you can put to use to improve your life? What skills? The next question is, how much have you got now? How much do you have as savings? Whatever. Is it 5,000? Is it 10,000? What? How much have you got to start? Start with what you've got. Who do you know that can provide you some mentorship, some coaching, some financial assistance or guidance now, not tomorrow? Now. Who do you know? Take a pen and a paper. Write down all the people that you know that you can ring up. Do it now. What are your capabilities? What are you capable of doing? Now, not tomorrow. No, I need to learn this skill. No. What are you capable of right now? What level of education do you have right now? Not I'm planning to get a master's or a bachelor's. No. What level of education do you have right now? What job can you apply for with what you have right now? What business can you start with what you have right now? Right now. There's nothing wrong with comedy or enjoying yourself with some soya or cold beer, hanging out with friends, watching football, But remember, to be able to get something, you have to become something that you've never become, that you've never been. To be able to get something new, you have to do something that you've never done before. Try to change your behavior and your mindset, experiment new things, take risks, keep persistent until you get what you want out of life. In order to harvest money, plant money seeds. And the way to do that is by rendering services. Only then will the money follow. Dr. David J. Swatch. The last but not the least step is to accept reality and deal with it. One thing is true and certain: life is hard. Let no one fool you. Whether it's the President of the United States, the Prime Minister of the UK. Guess what? The Prime Minister of the UK, United Kingdom, 6th richest country in the world, says life is hard. He compares his salary to that of business owners. He says that his salary is too small. He earns £150,000 a year and he says that's dang too small. Life is hard, guys. That's the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, 6th richest country in the world. We go through stuff and we sometimes wonder who we offended in the spirit realm. We'll ask questions like, God, why? Why did this happen to me? Who did you want it to happen to? It happened already. Or do you have a list of other people that it should have happened to? That would be cruel, wouldn't it? Someone once said that everything good will be attacked. Every beautiful garden will be attacked. You are made in the image and likeness of God. You are beautiful. You will be attacked. You're smart. You're intelligent. You've got greatness in you. You will be attacked. So don't go through life naively hoping that everything is going to be a smooth sailing. No. We cannot change the seasons, but we can look into every adversity with optimism and dig out the good in it. When my father died, I never stayed on the floor crying. It's true that when he died, I think I had his trousers because my dad had a car crash. He died in a car crash. The trousers in which he died, I had it on me for 2 weeks. I didn't want to let go. I was just smelling it. I missed him so much. I hoped he would come back. I hoped that someone would smack me in the head and wake me up from a nightmare. But it was reality. He wasn't coming back. And that news of his sudden death knocked me to the ground. It knocked me to the ground. Thank goodness, thank heaven that I never fell to my face, but rather on my back. Because you know what? Like Les Brown often says, when life knocks you down, make sure you land on your back. Because as surely as you can look up, you can get up. I got up. And I've often said that perhaps if my dad never died, I would not be who I am today. This fighter that I am today. Who knows? But what I want you to know, or what I want to say to you today, is that you should keep going. Keep fighting. Keep doing everything that you can to make sure that you reach your full potential. Life is beautiful. God has blessed you. Don't waste it. The Bible says in Jeremiah 29 verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." And guess what? All that you can do is all that you can do. And all that you can do is enough. But make sure you do all that you can do. You can't change the family into which you were born. You can't change how you were born if you have any physical challenges or medical conditions. We can't change the city or the country or the continent in which we were born. Yet there's one thing we can change. Each and every one of us can change the outcome of our adult lives through the tiny, insignificant choices that we make. Before you complain next time, remember that nothing is going to change until you change. You are the one standing in your way. If you have managed to acquire this information, please put it to use. Knowledge is potential power. It only becomes power when we apply it to the different areas of our lives. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast, because I sure did. And I hope we can just smack poverty in the head and say, "Get out of my life now, you poverty," and start to lead better lives. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please share it with someone who's feeling depressed, who is feeling like their life is over. Help them take charge of their destiny. Share it with them. Just click on the share button. Share it. You may be blessing someone's life. This message may reach someone when they were just about to commit suicide. This message may reach someone who has been in dire need to hear it. Join us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, I share job opportunities. Check out our website, www.youngandindependent.com, for amazing life-changing articles, how to develop yourself, how to gain your self-confidence, how to breach the scarcity mentality, and many, many, many more amazing articles. On Facebook, we're Young and Independent People. On Instagram, Young and Independent 35, and on YouTube, Young and Independent. Thank you so much. Until next time, do take care. Bye.